out there in Banjo land? Mike Hedding here. I had a request if I could do some more Jamgrass style licks. Jamgrass is super fun. And I thought I would work up a fun little triplet Jamgrass lick that I use on occasion. And I'll show you how to move it around. It's a closed position lick, so it has no open string, so you can move it around however you want. This would be a great little lick if you're kind of jamming on the one chord. So the root chord, very common in Jamgrass, they might just jam on one chord for an extended period of time, and they kind of get weird. Everyone plays their little licks and create some tension, but they're all just jamming on one chord for an extended period of time. So I'll break down the lick, show you some variations, how I might mix it up a little bit, show you how to move it around to different keys. We'll break that all down. Let's jump into it. Okay, so the main lick starts up here with your index finger, and we'll do it in G to start. At the beginning of the video, I just did a little roll. It's kind of a bluesy lick, so you don't have to do that, but let's just start with the actual lick itself, and then I'll show you how to play around it. So we're going to start with our index finger up on the 5th fret of the 4th string, which is our root note. So that's going to be key because that's going to be the key that we're playing in. Not to use the word key twice, but that's the key to this lick, is that's going to indicate what root note you're playing. So that's going to be anywhere you start with that index finger is going to be the key that you're playing in. So if we start on the 5th fret of the 4th string, that's a G note. So that's going to put this lick in the key of G. So we're going to start with our index finger up there. Then we're going to use our pinky on the 8th fret. With my right hand, I'm going to do thumb and index. And then we're going to go up to the 3rd string and do 5, 6, 7, kind of like a blues scale. Let's just practice going up and down those notes. So it's just like a little blues part, or kind of a partial blues scale. Which is a fun little exercise, just practicing your thumb and index with your right hand. That's good, just left hand practice. It's a good warm-up scale too. Practice mixing the notes up in a different order as well. Something like that. Or so just play around with those notes. Those are just our notes that we're going to use. And then we're going to go up to the 6th fret on the 2nd string, and then the 5th fret on the 1st string. And then we're going to go back to the 6th fret. That's going to be measure 1. Thumb, index, up into, and then a little roll. So thumb, index, this is with my right hand, and then thumb, index, middle, forward roll. That's kind of cool. We're mixing single string and then a partial little Scruggs roll, which is very common in more advanced banjo styles. So we're going. And then we're going to do a series of triplet licks, and I did a previous lesson called Advanced Pentatonic Patterns, where I broke each of these shapes down in detail. So refer to that lesson if you want these positions broken down in more detail. I won't break them down again, but we're basically going to use these pentatonic scale patterns to create a fun little triplet lick. So definitely check that lesson out. So I'm going to hit my pinky on the 8th fret, and then a backwards triplet. So basically back down those notes. And a triplet is triplet is how you count it. So you have 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 triplet. Triplet is just a nice counting mechanism because you're saying the 3 syllables, triplet, and that's how you play it. A triplet is 3 notes in the, at least 8th note triplets is what we're doing in this case, is 3 notes in the space that would normally be occupied by 2 8th notes. So instead of 1, 2, and 1, 2, and now we're going 1 triplet. So that's what we're going to do. We'll build the lick up. That's what we're doing there. So we have. And then we're going to, you can either move up to the 10th fret with your pinky, or you can slide. And then you're going to do 8 and 8, and then the, what is that, the 10th fret. And that same rhythm. So 1 triplet, 3 triplet, and then up to the 12th fret, and then you have, what is that, 10, 11, 12, which is basically like this shape, except your pinky is down one more fret. So you have, so the only difference there is you have to bar that, your first finger on the second triplet. So, and I'm doing middle and then middle index thumb. Middle, middle index thumb. The other way you could do it is you could have your thumb come down if you want, but I think that's a little trickier for me, but I've also done it that way, where your thumb comes down and then triplet, thumb, triplet. The one benefit to that is that your thumb of your right hand helps that pop out a little bit. For me, I just noticed in practice I was doing it more with my middle finger twice. I just thought that was a little bit easier. And then we're going to do, at the end, after that triplet, another backwards roll, this time with eighth notes. And then down to the 10th fret, and then 12 ends it. So you have, so what is that? 1 triplet, and then 3 and 4 and 1. It's good practice on hearing the difference between the triplets and the eighth notes. So you have, let's put that all together really slow. Like I said, sometimes I'll do a little slide into each of the when I'm going up those notes. I just found that helped. Like that kind of sounds cool. The other way you could do this lick, so that's the basic lick. Times really slow again. Then you could do like a little ending, or the other way you could get back down is that's like a bar at the 5th fret on the middle 2 strings. I'm pinching with my index and middle. There's lots of ways you could get back down though. Don't worry about that. Just get the lick down. So that's the basic lick. Another version that I was doing, which I originally wrote it, but I feel like it's easier to go up. But another way you could do it is basically start the same way and then go down those positions. And then you have a little roll right here. So you could do. Mix it up once you get it down. Take this and really make it your own. You know, you can start with my lick as a jumping off point, but I'd really encourage you to actually try and create your own lick and your own idea. I think it's more powerful. You'll probably remember it better as well if you actually create your own little pattern or idea. The other thing is you could do that walk up slightly different. So maybe I go, or remember, you probably won't be playing this in a bluegrass song. It's probably a little bit too out there, at least for in my opinion, for a straight ahead bluegrass song. You could try it, but I would again play this over just like a jam section where you're just jamming on the 1 chord, or maybe like a blues, or so it'd either work with like a G7 or a G minor sound too. A lot of those times too, in those jam sections, they might even be playing a G without the 3rd at all, so it's kind of this indistinguishable G. So I'm actually not playing the 3rd fret on the 3rd string or the 4th fret, which determines the minor or major. I'm just playing basically what would be called a G5. So I'm playing a G without it's like a G power chord on guitar. So that's the lick. Remember, we're not using any open strings, so you could do it in A, wherever your index finger is on the 4th string that starts, that's what you D. C. E. Or try going down, like I said, you could do it in D. So practice that. Hopefully it helps you out. Hopefully you have some fun with this. This is obviously not a very serious lick. It's kind of a fun little show-off lick. But maybe you're jamming with your friends. You get into an extended jam section and you want to throw out a cool triplet lick. Give this some try. Good luck and keep picking.